Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary past to episode 398 of the Words About Games podcast. I'm your host, Amy, 3 raccoons in a trench coat, Alexander, and I'm joined this week by the man who has been breaking video games professionally for the last 2 years. It's Mr. Daffy Moody.
Yay!
Howdly do, everyone. It's Friday. You know what that means. But on Thursday, when we recorded, it was my 2-year anniversary. Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you. 2 years in the video game industry.
Woo!
Not bad. It's kind of flown over. It's kind of freaky. But no, yeah.
Almost halfway to being a veteran.
Almost. Yeah, basically by the end of the year, I'll be halfway to becoming a veteran.
A veteran or a grizzled veteran?
Veteran.
When do you become a grizzled veteran? The eye patch.
When I grow the beard back
Long
after
beard.
that. Yeah, it's this long.
Yeah, when
But I can just go like this.
Just the constant bags under your eyes. Just like that all the time.
Hey, I'm way ahead of you on that front with the bags under the
You
eyes.
tell me about it. There was way too much for me to remember doing the intro. I didn't like it. I was like, I gotta remember to say things. This is no.
It's not how the Force works.
It's cool. 2 years of being a video game person. That's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
And you had the dream effect going. Yeah.
That'd be a
There's
great
a young guy,
place for a
bushy tail
transition.
Moody, first day into work.
Got a little brief.
The first day in work, it
Yeah.
was freaky, like, because I just know how I am. It was the same for when I went to my first day at work at the place I'm at now. And I didn't sleep the night before. Like, I was on like 2 hours sleep, basically. Because I'm just so nervous. My brain is just like on fire and just going everywhere. And I was just like, yeah, well, I'm up. Just get up. Finished the day. Because it was just, I did 3 days of training. I finished the first day. Got back to the hotel, ate, and I'm pretty sure I was out. Thank God I set an alarm because I slept pretty much all the way to my alarm, which was that was really good. I needed it. My brain was like fried, and I was like mentally exhausted. But yeah, it was really good. Like, I stand by it. Like, PlayStation Liverpool, they did amazing things for me. Like, they helped me so much, and the place was just absolutely amazing. The people, and I'll forever be grateful to them and to the company. Places just still can suck sometimes as a company when it comes to sacking or redundancies and whatnot, or just closing studios for the heck of it. But no, yeah. Overall, you have to take the good with the bad, I guess. Somehow.
Sure you do. You sure do. We're also joined. I've got a dry throat this week. We're also joined by Mr. Vitz Patel. Unibody himself.
Exactly. I was never going to live that down. How's it going, everybody? Watch out for bees and quicksand.
Yeah. No, that's good advice. That's good life advice, just in general.
Yeah. Every fear that you had, like, children of the 80s out there, every fear you had growing up, yeah, watch out for all of those.
I saw bees today. Like, I feel like for the first time this year.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
Saw bees. It's fucking
Did you name
massive.
them all Vitz in honor of him?
No.
No, she was just like, he's not here. It's okay. Not going for your hive.
Just hold your hands up. Walk away slowly.
Yeah, that's it.
No, these are cool bees.
But
These
no.
aren't electric murder bees.
Yeah, good for that. Biodiversity and all that jazz.
Yeah, 2 whole bees. The planet is saved.
At last. Good. So we don't have to keep trying to save the planet anymore. Thank God. It's getting tiresome.
Yeah, no, we're done. That's it. I
We're
declare
done.
it over because I saw 2 bees. This is how.
Just like. Go on.
I was going to say this is how conservatives approach scientific research.
Yeah.
I saw
Exactly.
2 bees, therefore planet fine. Therefore, we don't need to save the planet anymore. They
Exactly.
turn those washing
went
machines
outside today.
back up to 60.
It
There
worked.
you go.
It worked for Kirk and his team in Voyage Home, bringing 2 humpback whales back from the past to the future, brought back the humpback whales. So it's all good.
I didn't see any whales though. Does this mean the planet's not saved?
It is in the future.
Great.
In our future?
Not our future. No, we're fucked.
Oh, we're done. Like
Yeah, we're already done.
we had a storm up here. I don't know what it was like for you guys this past week.
Yeah,
We had a big
raining
storm.
like crazy. It's been raining and windy as crazy.
Roads
it's been
flooding,
nuts.
rivers bursting their banks.
Yep. No, I haven't had that yet.
Mass hysteria, cats and dogs living with each other.
My friend does own both cats and dogs, so yeah.
There you go.
It's just normal now. We have storm seasons. People are like, ooh, it was a weird trajectory of, because this past week has been, brr, it's really cold. I'm complaining because it's cold. And then it was like at the weekend, it was like, wow, the weather's really nice and it's really warm. And then the third stage of, where did this storm come from? And I'm like, all right, cool. Okay. When cold air meets warm air. And this is going to happen more and more for some unknown reason. But yeah, no.
Cool.
Yeah, it was great.
Mm-hmm.
But people
Very
still found their way to the shops. I said out loud this week, Vladimir Putin himself could drop nuclear bombs on us, and people will still go shopping.
Of course.
I did.
How dare you? Leave those poor retail workers alone. They're going through enough.
Also, Putin, I know you're watching, big fan and all that. Don't drop any bombs.
Big fan.
Oh yeah, I'm sure Putin.
Especially big
Long
fan
time
if you
listener.
don't press
Never
the
wrote
big
in.
red button.
Not once.
Yeah, look at my analytics. I'm like, yeah, clearly, we got Putin in our corner.
Mm-hmm.
Jeff
If you're
Grubb.
not feeling mass genocide today, yeah, thumbs up from us.
Now we just need to get everybody else on board the non-genocide train.
There you go.
Exactly. And then
Even the Germans were
just
sending
like
weapons
2Bs.
to. Even the Germans are sending weapons to Israel today. And it's like, have you learned nothing?
They haven't.
But they feel like they have to do this.
Look.
They've even come out and said this.
Just and I know I don't need to say this to you, but just look around at everything. No one learned
Yeah.
anything.
That's true.
We haven't learned a damn thing.
This isn't the
We asked
circle of
him
life
this
that I
question.
signed up for. It was it was a different one.
History repeats itself. That's how this all
It sure
works.
does.
It's a cycle. We've had the
we asked him
pandemic.
this-
Now we need the war.
But usually there's like a dark ages where people burn all the books of knowledge and things to remind all the warning from history.
Yeah, what we're doing, we're not burning them. Oh my god, I just almost unprompted accidentally said a Rage Against the Machine lyric.
Yes.
That's where we're at in 2024. I was going to say, you don't need to burn a book, they just ban them.
There you go.
And the lyric is, they don't got to burn a book, they just remove them from Wake Up.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody
My
should listen
favourite
to
thing
more
about-
Rage.
My favorite thing about Rage is back in the day, there was this game show called The Winky Slink. And one of the questions Anne Robertson gave the contestant, whoever they were, kind of thing, was complete the band title. And it was Rage Against the blank. This lady said racism, and I've never had that hard in my life. I mean, bless you.
Technically,
Rage Against the racism.
if you remove the subtext and just turn it into text, that's actually
Yep.
the correct answer. But
Yeah, that's right. Weirdly, she didn't get the point.
No,
she
no.
did not get the point.
My favorite thing about Rage Against the Machine is how I listened to that music when I was in high school, and I was like, "Yeah, this slaps," like because it's just my kind of music. And I listen to it now, and I'm like, "Fuck!" Now I actually understand all of the lyrics
That's the worst thing about
and
it.
can
as well.
apply them
You're-
to modern
you-
day.
That's the worst thing about it. You just start listening to something or watching something, you're just like, this is awesome. 10 years later,
Well, it's that white person thing of like I listen to Rage Against the Machine now, like 20 years later or whatever it is, And I'm like, wow, this is just becoming more and more like prescient to modern day living. And it's like, no, it was prescient back then. You were just ignorant.
Just ignorant to it. But I also saw a post on social media saying Hideo Kojima's listened to a song by Steps this week, so anything's on the table.
Steps.
Nice.
Fair enough.
It's somehow going to tie into his next game.
Probably.
I mean, they're going to be there on the beach, I'm sure.
Like Princess Peach and Mario. That fucking video game.
I'm your Princess Peach.
We can't keep letting him get away with this.
Not like this.
God damn. That was weird. That was a weird, like, journey our conversation went on.
It was.
I had a conversation with Phil earlier in the week, and the progression, like, if I replayed the entire conversation, the progression makes sense between the 4 different topics that we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of, like, if I just told you the 4 topics one after the other, you'd be like, what? Because it started out with gammon, the meat.
Yeah.
Being underrated, and then went to pineapple, and I'm sure everybody can connect those 2 dots pretty easily.
Yeah.
And then from pineapple went to Nazis,
Okay, that's where you lost me.
and then Nazis to fascists.
I mean, it's that potato.
But, I mean, yeah, it sounds like 2 different conversations that connect really well together. But
So let's try
pineapples to Nazis makes a lot of sense in the context
this
of the
piece
full
is really good. And
conversation.
Amy's like, well, how about Nazis?
There may have been a joke involved.
How about 10 Nazis?
So I'm going to try this. This is going to be interesting. So it's going to be like, it's like what Yoda says. Fear leads to gammon. Gammon leads to pineapple. Pineapple leads to Nazis.
I mean, if you want to try and guess it. What the connecting tissue was. I will say it was a sarcastic comment that I made that took us from pineapple and Nazis.
So I imagine it's going to be a pineapple on pizza, as in ham pineapple on pizza and Hawaiian pizza and all the rest of it. And I think the connecting tissue is that I agree with it, not just because it's Nazis, because it's really general about pineapple pizza. But the only people who would force pineapple pizza on anybody would be Nazis. I think that's the way the conversation went.
You're not tremendously far off, but you're definitely overcomplicating it a little bit.
Okay. Moody, you'll go.
All I'm hearing is that Nazis put pineapple on pizza, which tried to destroy
was a
pizza
Canadian.
in general. And I'm just like, what? Like,
Again, great
just
point.
makes me hate Nazis even more. So
Great point. Definitely way more complex than us. Gammon is an underrated meat. How do you have gammon? Like, what do you have with it? And I was like, you have fried egg and mushrooms.
Yeah,
and
when
then,
I used to eat meat, it was with fried egg all the time. Yeah.
And then, well, I guess if you eat gammon now, it would just be mushrooms and fried egg because the meat would be a mushroom. Boom, that's a callback.
There you go. It would be a mushroom. There's no doubt.
So yeah, from
mushroom
that
with mushroom and egg.
And then obviously, someone brought pineapple. Like, would you have pineapple on it? And then I shouted sarcastically, anybody who has pineapple on their fucking gammon is a Nazi. Which led to a serious discussion about Nazis and modern day fascism. And what was really funny was someone left the room at gammon is an underrated meat and returned to the room at modern day fascism.
Did they come in holding a bunch of pizzas while the room was on fire? Troy Bolton all over again.
No.
Somewhere in the middle is just a slice of pineapple just randomly there. Just minded his own business.
Like, I don't have any strong opinions on pineapple.
And then I heard Nazis, and I was just like, I'm just going to
yeah, like someone Grandpa Simpson and just didn't notice because we were too talking about Nazis and pineapples.
Put a pineapple.
I don't really have a strong opinion on pineapple. it was just funny.
I try not to. I admit it. I try not to. I fail every time. Every time I hear it, I think of that meme from the Inside Out saying, the first one's for California, you just ruined pizza by putting broccoli on it, which I think is amazing. By the way, broccoli's awesome. But the first Hawaiians, then you, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I just think that all the time.
As somebody who sometimes puts cucumber on pizza, it's like I don't push the pineapple
Nothing wrong with
argument too far because it's
Nothing
just
wrong
like,
with
well,
cucumber. Delicious.
cucumbers are delicious.
I still think pineapples aren't one of my on my Twitch channel. It's one of the rules when you enter chat for the first time. Saying pineapple
don't be a
pizza is
pineapple.
fine, but if that's not your jam, that's cool too.
I don't understand. Like, I mean, it's like when I shouted, when I yelled, anyone who puts pineapple on their gammon is a Nazi. Like, it's like it's funny to joke about, but I feel like sometimes people take the pineapple on pizza debate like way too seriously.
Yeah.
I won't lie. I'm going to change the description on the chat for our Twitch channels. Our Twitch channel to if you're a fan of pizza, you're a Nazi.
not pineapple
Just
on
pizza in
pizza.
general.
Pizza. Wow.
That's everybody.
If you like pineapple on pizza, you're a Nazi.
I fallen down the alt-right pipeline and I didn't even know it. And the road was laced with pepperoni.
Yeah,
Papa John's at the end of it looking for a cookie for not
Fuck
using the
Papa
N-word in
John's.
6 months.
Fuck Papa.
they are way too expensive. Insane. But yeah,
Damn.
what a weird rabbit hole we just went down to.
Welcome to meeting friends with me. I do this all the time. Usually just to myself, but
So just from now on, just don't allow Amy to communicate with other people.
probably what's best for the world. You talk about save the planet, like
Yeah.
keep me away
Yeah.
from everybody.
That's fair. We can do that. Here, give us your mum's number. I'll text her. She may not know me. I'll say just lock you in your room.
You didn't have to imprison them.
I mean, I've got
Okay, lock you in
Are
the
her
house.
rights
Is
not
that
being
better?
taken away enough?
not yet.
Yeah, no.
Labour haven't been voted in a power yet. I'm still good.
Just
Oh god.
Oh, the world. Shall we talk about video games? A less depressing topic.
yeah.
But-
I mean, it was-
Not
You say this.
but
You say this.
but not without its Nazis.
there you go.
There's some depressing topics in here as well. So.
All right. But you've been here for a few years, really. Way better than it used to be. Not the
That's true,
industry. I mean, this podcast.
Right.
That's true. That is
Way
true.
less depressing.
That is true. There's no doubt about that. Well, let's start with what's completely right. The Hellblade 2 dev says people want shorter games, and you know what?
I
Fucking right, you motherfucker. You are spot on. Because apparently, I
genuinely.
think Hellblade 2 is going to be like the same,
8
pretty much
hours long.
either just the same length for about 8 hours long. I'm thinking, you beautiful bastard.
Which I'll point out is still double the length of the original game. But when we did the segue there of like, there's some Nazis still. But this podcast isn't as depressing. I genuinely thought you were going to be like, let's talk about Deck 9. And I was going to be like,
That was the smoothest segue. I was
Hellblade,
looking
though.
for.
Yeah, no. Well, this is where the three raccoons in a trench coat came from, because the
See, there you go.
Kotaku article is titled Hellblade 2 dev says people want shorter games. And they're right. And I posted it in our Discord with just like, well, I guess I'm not people then. And then the cash
you
report
go.
came out. So, it's been a week for me on that front. But, like, I mean, when you actually read the art, it's one of those headlines where it's like, it suffers from taking a large quote and condensing it into one sentence, where it's like what the developer
Kotaku and like a Kotaku and article.
Kotaku do that never. But even
That's why they should be busy writing guides, not writing these frivolous news articles.
like what the point seems to be is like games that continuously like try to push themselves to be as long as possible, like or as long as they can, like are doing themselves a disservice because there is an audience for people who don't want to have to spend 20, 40, 60, 80, 100 hours on a game. And I mean, even I don't. Like, I mean, if a game's not that great, I don't want more of it. If you've got an 8-hour game and you stretch it to 20 hours, I'm not going to have a fun 20 hours.
Nope. Yeah.
Look at you.
I think the best analogy for that will always be Alien Isolation.
Yeah, it's the one we keep.
There was a point they hit a mark where that's where it should have ended. Yeah. And it kept going. And kept going. Just kept going. It's like, why?
Now there are more aliens, and it's just like, why? But why? I appreciated that one level where you go down and there's facehuggers and an alien, and you go down to the nest and stuff, and that was in the latter half of the game. That level was amazing. Wasn't worth the rest of the runtime though.
yeah. True. No doubt. But no, I think the dev's completely spot on here, and I hope that when we get Hellblade in a couple of weeks time, like 4 weeks time, I think it is. It's like May it comes out, isn't it? When we get Hellblade 2, that we're just going to get one of the most well-polished, efficient 8-hour experience out there, and I just can't wait for it because like this game is like they announced this 5 years ago, basically.
Yeah, it's been a while,
if not more. So they've had a long time. Yeah, we've had COVID and everything like that, where everyone basically stopped. Completely appreciate that and whatnot. But yeah, they've been silent for a long time. And yes, we know they did other things. They did that online multiplayer game, which completely died, I think, if I remember rightly.
Most online multiplayer games. Like most online multiplayer games these days.
That's true. But no, Ninja Theory, this is what we want to see. Going back to their full-on roots, doing a full-on story-based game that brought them to the light to everybody with the first Hellblade, and I'm looking forward to this. I think this could be a really good special game. So I think it's spot on. I agree with what Amy says as well. I think you're spot on. It really depends on the experience, because how the first game of the year was Like a Dragon, which was a 60, 70, 80, 90 hour game.
And I love that. I mean, I left some stuff on that table.
Yeah, so did I. Yeah. We could have probably gone 150 fucking hours.
But put that against Rebirth, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which myself and Vitz were both like, it's too long. There's too much in this game. I'm you can ignore a lot of it and skip a lot of it, but it's it's still.
It's
part of
I completely agree.
That argument always rubs me the wrong way in terms of people who say, well, the game is say 30 hours if you golden path and all the rest of it, but in order to do everything, but when I mean everything, I'm just talking about explore all the side quests and see the totality of the story that this game is trying to tell, kind of thing. Sure. And then we are there with Rebirth, for an example, kind of thing. We are there to experience the story in every single aspect of it. So don't tell me that you can skip all these bits and pieces. We're here for every single character interaction, all the rest of it. So just include that in your runtime. It's kind of don't cheat me by saying, oh, it's only 30 hours.
It's like if you come out to sort of, and again, defend is the wrong word, because no one's attacking the game, not especially not us, but if one of your defenses of the game is, well, if you skip most of it, it's good. It's not the defense you think it is. I'm just going to throw that out there.
But the other thing I want to applaud this for, if it's accurate, is that it's going to retail for $50 as opposed to the usual retail of $70. So, so long as obviously the increase in sales validates that, so then everybody working at Ninja Theory will be paid adequately what they are worth, rather than just saying, well, we retail the game for $50. Now we haven't made as much revenue, therefore we can't pay you. Now we're going to have to lay you off. But hopefully it sells gangbusters.
I mean, this is Microsoft, so that'll happen either way next January. But
that's true.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
What do you mean didn't sell Fortnite numbers?
Well, them selling it for $50 means they'll probably, well, I don't know, Game Pass is involved, and it gets really murky, like when Game Pass is involved. But it'll sell more. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed this trend that's been happening in the last like year and a half, but like people aren't buying as many $70 games. No one can figure out why. Like, games aren't selling as much, and you know, economic crises and COVIDs and everything aside, it's like maybe it has something to do with the fact that you raised the price of the game and people's wages are still the same.
Yeah, I think that's a whole thing. What you're just saying there. I mean, it's like wages haven't gone up for anything like that, but I think also it's like, and then people are just like, okay, I can either pay for this much for say. Forget Game Pass. I'm going to take Game Pass completely out of it for 2 seconds.
Yeah, sure.
Just going to use this as an analogy. I could pay $70 for Starfield, which I'm hearing okay things for, or I can pay $70 for The Legend of Zelda, which I've heard nothing but love and praise for. You know,
Yeah,
you're going to go thinking you're going to get the best book for your money. You're going to go with Zelda for the most part, or anything like that. It also depends on the experience.
yeah,
but
sure, yeah.
that's always what you're going to go for and everything, and then you're going to be in that for how many amount of hours you want to be into it until you get the next game, whenever that is for you, that piques your interest. So it's like, it's a multitude of a lot of things. It's like going back to what we were talking about last week with Game Pass and everything. It's like we don't know. It's like it's whatever works best for the person in that certain situation. So, but yeah, $50. This is a great thing to hear and everything like that. I think they would have been slammed if they came out, especially as it's a quote unquote 8-hour game.
I don't
when
think
70 quid.
I just don't think it would have sold particularly well. Like,
I agree.
the games that have been smash hits, as far as I'm aware, that aren't like Titanic mega franchises like Final Fantasy or whatever. Like the games that have been like selling way above their expectations this year have either been given away for free on April Fool's Day or like not $70 games. Like even Infinite Wealth wasn't a full price game. Helldivers, Helldivers wasn't. Balatro wasn't. Like, and I think there's that appetite for, okay, like I don't have $70, but I do have $40. So let's see what's out for $40, and here comes like Helldivers. But also, like, you don't even need to spend that much. You can spend £3 and get Final Fantasy X. When I saw
as well. Let's go.
When I saw that price tag on this game, my mind blew. Final Fantasy IX was 4 times the price.
Sounds about right.
Listeners, Amy's holding up a copy of a PlayStation 2 version of Final Fantasy X.
The platinum version, if I remember right.
Yeah, this is the silver label platinum version.
But yeah, I think people are being more selective with the dollars they have to spend, but also with the time. To Moody's point as well, in terms of what's taken their fancy at the moment, and more and more $70 is a gamble, not only of is this title going to be something that resonates with me in these economic times, and then also like am I ready to sink how many hours into it, kind of thing. And if you give me a shorter, more condensed experience which has more impact, then that's the version that I want every single time.
And there's also and will it function? Because like,
that's true. Yeah.
Even looking at the top end of like games that people love, Dragon's Dogma 2, if you spend $70 on that on PC, I got some bad news for you.
Yeah,
it's pretty fucking broken.
I mean, only today, at the time of recording, did Square Enix release a patch for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, which was preventing a number of players achieving the Platinum Trophy because one of the trophies was bugged, kind of thing. So, to the conversation I was having a couple of weeks ago, it's to your benefit to wait. And if you can deal with the FOMO, that's fear of missing out for those who aren't in the know, then you're more than better off waiting. You'll pay less for it, and you'll have a better experience. It'll be a more polished title.
We should start like a new movement, right? Hear me out here. And what this movement should be is, it should be like a time warp movement. And what we should do is we should just play like games, like go through the release calendar as if it was exactly 1 year ago.
Okay, so we'll be getting excited for Baldur's Gate 3, that kind of thing.
So it's like Baldur's Gate 3 is out in like a few months, guys. Can't wait to play
Yes.
that. I hear it's
Hey,
got an
Moody,
epilogue and
maybe-
everything.
There you go. Maybe it's a fine time to start, Moody.
Sorry, I was not paying attention to anything you're saying because I was just having a look at something. Sorry.
Was it
I've
Baldur's
just
Gate 3?
realized Hellblade 2's not getting a physical release.
Yeah, of course not. The first
Digital-
one
digital.
did it?
No, I thought it might because obviously they're owned by Microsoft now and everything, and I thought they might. I know what you're saying. Like the first one didn't, but
There's
I thought this one would.
it's in that sort. It exists in that space where it's like it's an indie game. It's not a AAA game, right? So it's like, in terms of like, you know what I mean? Like it's like when people say It Takes Two is an indie game, it's like, okay, sure, but whatever you say, Hoss. But like, yeah, it's in that place where it's like, yeah, I didn't even think it would get it. It might get a collector's edition like in a couple of years or something. But yeah.
Has Alan Wake gone physical yet, or is that?
No.
Oh, okay, right.
I think it's gonna.
Nah, Epic Games, isn't it?
Right. Okay. Yeah.
They paid for it, so.
Mm-hmm.
And they're all about that digital distribution, baby. Got to get all our exclusives on our PC platform. Wait, what's happening? No one's buying them on our platform, and they're waiting a year. Sensible people. Maybe we don't give PC gamers enough credit.
I mean, to be fair, Windows did crash on me, and I had to do a full install this week of Windows. So I'm not giving PC anything this week.
I'm just saying.
I want to answer this.
I'm just saying. PC gamers wait for the games to come to Steam. PlayStation games, Xbox games, EA games, Epic
The PlayStation
games.
game never work. That comes to PC.
No. Okay.
There you go.
I don't know. I've never played them. I play them on my PlayStation like a normal person.
There you go.
Like Final Fantasy X on PlayStation 2.
There you go.
Love it.
Available at the low price of
£3 if you can find one.
£3. There you go.
Look, it's got a manual.
Oh my god! Remember those?
It's got like a whole
You mean
ass
it's not
fucking
just,
game manual.
Wow, it's not just a card with the digital download code on the back of it.
No, I think it's like it's in multiple languages, and
Wow.
like, look,
Can you register your game online for?
It's got the controls,
Wow.
and like it tells you how the game works. This is the battle system,
Which we're going to also teach you in game.
and also I can order the complete official strategy guide from authorizedcollection.com.
I have that
Wow.
somewhere.
But on the
I
other
have-
side is a cool picture of some of the characters. So
Oh yeah,
Oh,
Luna
yeah.
and Yuna.
doubles as artwork.
Yeah, I have
Squaresoft.
to-
Remember Squaresoft?
Yeah. Who remembers that? It was an interesting time. It was a different time then.
Different times.
Different time indeed. Different time.
Speaking of different times, should we go back to the times when we liked Deckline?
That's up to Moody.
Yeah, let's get it out of the way.
Like, we don't have to talk about it at all if you don't want. Like,
No.
So this was a story via Rock Paper Shotgun with original reporting by the wonderful Rebecca Valentine of IGN.
love the reporting. I needed a summarized version and put it in the doc.
Yeah.
To find
That's absolutely fine. So Life is Strange devs Deck9 accused of crunch, sexism, and abusive behavior amid allegedly toxic culture. So to abridge it for everybody, there's obviously Deck9 is a studio where their titles are beloved by countless people around the world, and it's a studio which people hold in high regard, and for their more progressive movements of what they try to push in their games and how it's all about empathy and positive themes like this. However, what's alleged here is that the situation over at Deck9 themselves was far from the case. As we said, Rebecca Valentine did a huge article over at IGN, which I also recommend you should go and check out as well to give yourself full context for what was going on. But it's bad news bears over there, and I hope that if anything, shining a light on this will help improve the situation for those who are still there, and kind of give some vindication for those who felt the need to leave.
Yeah, so the accusations, the alleged things that happened at Deck 9 range from crunch, which, I mean, that's just like the expected part of any stories like this. It always comes with crunch. We've got someone was putting hate imagery and Nazi dog whistles into whatever the next Life is Strange game is that they've been working on. Sexual harassment, transphobia, sexism from management level, as well as like there's one particular person who was singled out who allegedly attempted to form inappropriate relationships with female members of staff using a senior position to cross personal boundaries, describing Black Lives Matter as a hate group, and asking writers to express their political leanings during a meeting, and introducing various problematic elements of True Color's script, including an insensitive depiction of migrant workers removed from a final game, and one scene with traumatic implications of date rape that Gareth reportedly had to be fought with for 3 hours before relenting, albeit with a sexist remark about the friction being related to the game's female protagonist. Oh, and there's more, but I'll stop there.
Yeah,
for now. Lots of very bad things have allegedly happened and been happening in Deck 9.
Yeah, as I was saying before, hopefully that this shines a light and helps to improve the situation over there. And it's another cautionary tale of corporations not being your friend, even the ones with people who you really like there. There's sadly a lot of things that we need to fix in the industry that we love so much. But yeah, my heart goes out to everyone involved on the wrong end of these alleged things which are going on.
Like the report also like details of like troubling claims, including allegations that references to Nazi slogans and racist memes found in the Deck 9's next upcoming game, which I think a lot of people are probably thinking is that another Life is Strange and everything like that, but obviously it hasn't been announced or anything. But whatever it is, it's going to have a shadow on it whenever they finally that game gets announced and everything.
I mean, isn't there this aside? Is there usually a short turnaround time from the game being announced to its release date, or is that just a thing I've made up?
Depends on the studio at the end of the day.
I'm going to be frank. There's been so many showcases and game shows in the past 18 months that I don't remember anymore.
That's fair. But
last game was The Expanse, so they haven't had a game. Whatever they're working on next, it hasn't been announced yet. Might get announced this year, but I'm not really sure. If I was them, I'd be like saying, we're staying the fuck out of the way. We got to sort this shit out, and get everything, get things back on track and whatnot.
The fact that allegedly this stuff went on, all these references were left in the whatever build they were working on for months, despite like employees raising it to upper management. That's obviously it's more than concerning, and it speaks to more systemic issues within that studio.
I think it also speaks to just a lack of knowledge. Like speaking on this topic specifically, like a lack of knowledge of like dog whistles are dog whistles for a reason, right? They're not supposed to be obvious. They're just supposed to be something signaled from one, in this case, Nazi to another Nazi. So like they are designed to be subtle, but it's just there's a lack of knowledge of like what a Nazi dog whistle looks like, right? Like if you just saw someone talking constantly about the numbers 14 and 88, like you might not necessarily know what's going on there, like that those are references to Nazi
I will hold my
things.
hands up and say I'm unaware of the connotations between those two numbers. And
like that's kind of the point, though, isn't it? Like they're designed to be subtle so that people who aren't read on the subject don't know anything about it. Like 14 refers to the 14 words, which I don't remember. The 14 words off the top of my head, which is probably a good thing. And 88 is 8, which is H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. So you've got HH,
Right.
and from there,
Yep.
yeah. So those are just two. Like there were other references. Like I think I learned more about Nazi hate speech in Rebecca's original article because she had all the links to all of the information. So you just click on that. I think I learned more from that than I did from 2 years of learning history in high school.
There is that.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's like it takes knowing about this to be able to spot it in the first place. So like if upper management don't know like what A and 14 is or any of the other stuff, it's like yeah, they might just go, what are you talking about? It's just a number, and then that's where an education piece needs to come in. And as we all know,
yes,
management types are very open about being educated on topics.
They know all the things.
They already know everything. Don't worry.
Yeah.
They don't need to be educated.
But yeah, I think with respect to Nazi slogans and references and whatnot, so sadly it's not just tied to the video game space. So I know for the upcoming Euros, for the soccer or football, depending on your region, for the upcoming tournament, so Adidas, long-time suppliers of the Germany kit, and the style of lettering they went with some of the numbers, they have banned people from having the numbers 44, so double 4 on the back of their shirt or indeed the front. For it very much looks like double S, which has obviously its own connotations
in that particular font.
Yes, and it's kind of okay. I don't want to say we all know, but Adidas has a particular lineage with the Nazi Party, as do a lot of German companies. Yeah, as do a lot of corporations. But for the number of heads it must have gone through for approval for this, for it to make it to this stage, obviously, it for me at least, it says a lot about what's going on. Just in terms of, yeah, it's fine. Nobody can find anything bad about this.
Look at this cool font I found.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
No problems here.
Wait, what are you showing me on this red armband? I mean, like, yeah. I'm just thinking back on high school now, and it's like most of what I learned about Nazi Germany, I'm pretty sure I learned playing Medal of Honor.
Yep.
On the PlayStation, and most of that was just how to shoot Nazis in the balls. With various weapons.
That is their weak spot, so I hear.
It's a lot of people's weak spots.
Apparently.
But, yep.
Like, if we talked about this last week, I probably would have gone full on crazy mode and everything with it and everything, because it's obviously, I think it dropped like after we finished the podcast or the day after or whatever. I'm just tired basically at the end of the day when it comes to this. It's like, it's heartbreaking. It was like a physical gut punch to me when I read it and saw it. Just the byline alone literally just made me just almost tear up. Like I'm glad that they were able to push back significantly against the prick who had all of these things that he wanted to put in True Colors, because I've said it multiple times, I'll say it again, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face, basically. Yeah, True Colors, Life is Strange True Colors is a game that I've stated many occasions that saved my life. It changed my life. And that's clearly because the developers had so much care and love for this game and the characters that they wanted to properly represent in a really good way. And they pushed back against a prick who clearly just wanted to be an absolute dickhead, basically.
Well, it's a trend. Sorry to cut you off, Moody.
I know.
It's a trend I feel like I've seen I feel like Game of Thrones, since Game of Thrones was a thing, that I like to call purposeless suffering, which is Game of Thrones had a lot of suffering for a lot of its characters, and I'm not accusing Game of Thrones of having purposeless suffering, apart from that one thing that happened to Sansa that we don't talk about, but like I think a lot of people saw Game of Thrones and was like, the key to making great art is to make our characters suffer. And so, like, you know, I'm reading this stuff that allegedly this guy wanted to put into Life is Strange True Colors. Like, I'm reading the date rape scene, and it's like the people who push back on it were like, we don't need this to happen. And I've played the game, and it didn't have that. But things did happen to the main character, and I was like, yeah, the scene that you had in there was fine. Like, for what happens to Alex, like, it just feels like you're just trying to be needlessly cruel to a character in this story because that's what's good writing, and that's not good writing.
Oh yeah, I completely get that. I think you're probably even spot on there. I won't lie. I hate this. Like, I really, 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 really hate this. Like, we are like I said, I'll say, like, that's what I said in the Discord. So I'm not going to say anything nice about a company anymore because it just slaps me in the face. It really, really does. And it's just like, for Pete's sakes, man, like, come on. And at the end of the day, all I'll say is that to the developers of Deck 9, we all love you. You are absolutely an amazing team who's brought such amazing games to us. To the higher ups, get your shit together, get rid of the toxic people, and get in some proper management to promote people who are amazing developers to management positions to help cultivate a great working environment and everything that can bring even more great, inspiring games like Life is Strange True Colors was for me and for loads more people. I'd like, go on, Vitz, go on.
Sorry, there's educational resources out there which you can consume and be knowledgeable about the signs you should be looking out for. And yeah, it's sad that you need to be aware of these things, but this is the world that we live in, and we'll have people who have strange power fantasies about wanting to make women suffer, so they'll push for this agenda kind of thing. And it's kind of, you need to have that perspective to take one step back to say, okay, have faith in what your team has put together in the first place. And if there is this one driving force of, we need to, add additional suffering and what have you, then yeah, there's large conversation to be had. So yeah, get educated, and then you'll be able to spot the signs easier, so we don't have situations like this.
There's no doubt about, like, just the lack of education in general from a lot of things in life and whatnot is happening and whatnot. Like, I don't think I would have. I don't think I've ever even looked, like, for those numbers in any of the games I've worked on and whatnot. I believe they aren't present. That's gonna be a shock.
When's your next game coming in?
Yeah, I'm not gonna say until I have a look. But no, yeah, it's like, it's. But when it's just like, I think just in general, just companies need to bring in, like, create like a section where it's just like, where you can come to someone and say, "Is this okay?" type of thing. You would think that's HR, but I don't trust HR as far as I could throw the fuckers.
HR is there to protect the company, not the employees.
Yeah,
that's my experience.
Yeah,
you should never trust. You should never trust a department that sees human beings as resources.
Yes.
You know what? Yeah, you know what? You're not. You are spot on there. But yeah, like, something needs to be created where it's like, even if you've just got like one or two people who just like who are incredibly intelligent and educated on these things, or can look up these things a lot more fruitful while you're developing and destroying a game, basically, while bugging the shit out of it. To be able just to ask simple questions and go, "Hey, is this a part where we should be questioning in certain ways?" It's like the whole thing of, like, on multiple games where we've seen, like, for like, are these characters getting would these characters of a certain ethnicity be doing this type of thing? Like, are you properly are you educated in the right way of doing that type of thing? Are you doing it, leading in the right way? Are you going to the right people, like, to say, "Hi, we want to make sure we're being authentic and not being, let's just be frank, racist or really bad, and just putting out a character who's just just derogatory in a really bad way.
Black
And,
people
yeah,
have
it's
more
like-
than one hairstyle.
They sure
apparently,
do.
yeah, apparently,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, they do. Yeah, you wouldn't think it playing video games, but yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that is true. But no, yeah, it's like we need to do better. We need to do better, and
There needs to be the will to do better, though. It's always like the thing about doing better is like it's a constant journey, not like a destination. Like you don't realize that, like, you know, you don't come to the realization that, ooh, some of this stuff I've done in the past has been racist, and then fix that behavior and then go, class, I never have to worry about being racist ever again as a white person. It's like, no, that is a constant journey that you will be on for the rest of your life. And it's the same with anything else.
It's okay to make mistakes. It's more important that you learn from them.
Yeah.
exactly.
It's what you do with that information after you get it. Like, you know, we talk about Nazi dog whistles, you know, there's the numbers, but there's others. Like,
Oh, yeah.
There's so many others. There's the sign that used to mean A-OK.
Nope,
No,
not anymore.
No.
It probably never was, but we, like a naivete or whatever else, just thought, I know that used to be fine, but nope. That's a different connotation now. For those listening and wondering what they may be, my understanding is that the OK symbol is also a synonym for white power.
Yes.
With the three letters, the three fingers which are pointing up, representing the W, and then the P shape that you're making with your connected fingers and it going down your wrist and so forth, representing that. So yeah, just be mindful of that.
Shit, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always known it's a thing, but you're spot on because it's the W and the P. Sorry for throwing that back up there.
No, it's fine. Look, now we're learning. This is the thing.
Like, I've known it's a white power symbol, but that makes so much sense now. Horrible.
Well,
sense.
I'm not going to do it for the thing. Just doing that. I didn't show it, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. That symbol is a white power symbol.
Yeah, well, it's like it's anything. It's
It's
like
been co-opted.
yeah, it's like a lot of things in terms of like, you know, what Nazis and white supremacists have co-opted things. It's like how what woke means now versus what it meant when the black community first started using it. It means two completely different things. But because white supremacists have co-opted the word, or in this case, the symbol, like it did used to mean something completely different, but now it means white power.
The derogatory term.
Yeah, it's like Pepe the Frog on Twitch, the emote of the frog. Like, they just started using that constantly, and it became a Nazi thing. It's the analogy of the Nazi bar from the story that goes around on social media all the time, where the guy's sitting at the bar. I don't know if it's a true story or if it's a genuinely just a metaphor, but either way, it's the guy sitting at the bar with the bartender who just suddenly kicks someone out. And then the guy sitting at the bar asks, why did you kick that guy out? He wasn't doing anything. And the bartender says, oh, like, you didn't see it, but he had, like, a bunch of, like, Nazi shit. And you have to kick them out now because the first one will be nice. So you'll let him stay. And then you'll bring a friend, and that friend will be nice. And then they'll bring more friends. And then before you know it, you're running a Nazi bar.
Yeah.
Basically.
Words About Games podcast, educating you and everybody
the
else.
Words About Games podcast. We talk about video games sometimes.
Yeah.
Everyone in Deck 9, just land on your feet, and we all love you, apart from the management.
To bring the mood up ever so slightly while still talking about the same story, although this has been a loosely connected thing. Did you see the part in Rebecca's original article where Square Enix were like, okay, we don't want to market this game too much to make people think it's a gay game.
Yes.
Yeah.
We don't want it to be known as the gay game. You don't want Life is Strange. Life is Strange. To me,
The first game was gay.
you see that speck on the horizon? That's the ship that's already sailed.
Yes.
Game's already gay, guys.
Yeah. Prequel was as well. Good God, man.
It's the same shit. Every fucking generation of fucking consoles is like, ooh, we don't want to put women on the cover. Ooh, we don't want people to think this game is gay. They might not buy it. No, I guarantee you, if you market your game as gay, more people will buy it. Do you know the shit?
Yes, they will.
Like, do you know the shit games that I have played or the shit TV shows that I have sat all the way through just because there's gay people in it? We're a very loyal audience. You put a gay in that thing, and I'm gonna watch it even if it's terrible.
Why the Flash lasted so long? Oh.
It's true though.
Amy, the one viewer, kept it going.
It was me. Keith texted me being like, "You still watching Supergirl?" And I'm like, "Yeah, but it's not, but it's gotten a lot worse." And I'm like, "It has," but Nicole Manns is in it, so I'm gonna watch it till the bitter end.
There you go.
Yeah, they really messed up there, didn't they? At the end, did they?
I don't know. I actually didn't stick through to the bitter end. Like once COVID hit, it was like a clean break from the Arrowverse, and I took it and ran.
That's fair.
I was free.
Like I never watched Supergirl. It was just like,
It's really good at the beginning. Melissa was really good at as like Supergirl. Like she was really fantastic.
She does a really great voice of one of the characters in the He-Man show on Netflix.
She-Ra?
Kevin Smith, the Kevin Smith one.
Oh, okay, right.
Not She-Ra. He-Man. Yeah,
She-Ra.
I can't remember the character she plays, but she like her and her husband, which is funny. Who plays He-Man as well, who she met on Supergirl, which is funny. Yeah, they're the main characters in Kevin Smith's He-Man show, and I was just like, yeah, I've just recently binge watched it all, and I was like, yeah, that was really good. That, and they were, yeah, cool, a lot of fun. But no, yeah.
Amy, when's the last time you went back to watch the Dolph Lundgren Master of the Universe?
Oh
masterpiece.
my god!
Well, I mean,
starring Courtney Cox and
if Moody
and Lieutenant Tom Paris.
Yeah. If Moody follows through on that one idea we had in Discord chat about watching films and stuff, maybe I'll watch it soon.
Yeah.
But we're doing all of Star Trek first.
Yeah, sure.
So that's like
There's only
what
13 films.
13.
We're not doing the Kelvinverse, right?
Moody's a
all of
completionist. He has to do the Kelvin.
Okay, right.
He gets to hear my hot takes on the first Star Trek reboot
Yeah, just
movie
wait.
made
Then
by
we go
J.J.
to
Abrams.
the Alien franchise, and that's a dog shit pile of crap, and I love it. And then we go through of all Star Wars. Obviously, you can get to the Last Jedi and say it's 10 out of 10, and then just leave.
No Star Wars, please.
Please, no.
And then we watch the Avatar franchise and get Amy to watch Avatar 2, and then we can finally.
Wait, the blue people or the
blue people?
The airbenders,
right? The blue people, yeah.
Right. Although, if we're gonna do the stupid Avatar film, blue people Avatar films, I insist that we watch M. Night Shyamalan's Avatar: The Last Airbender film.
But it's not part of the franchise.
It's called Avatar.
And we watched Street Fighter the movie.
That was
with
called
Jean-Claude
The
Van
Last
Damme.
Airbender. Actually, it's not called Avatar, so no.
And I quit. But while we've got a couple of minutes before our half time, and we're talking about watching things, is anybody planning on watching Fallout?
I am not.
I haven't decided yet.
I think for me, Fallout was a franchise that never hit for me. I played a lot of Fallout 3. I started Fallout 4 and dropped off. Yeah, and I dropped off pretty soon after. I understand New Vegas is all different kinds of amazing, and
Apparently Amy doesn't show up about it though.
No, she doesn't. No.
It's one of the many things we love about Amy.
I'm showing incredible restraint here because I'm still on a mission to get Vitz to immediately start playing Yakuza Like a Dragon, to not immediately be suggesting that Fallout New Vegas is on Game Pass, and the Ultimate Edition even, you can play it with all the DLC.
But also, it's like having played like Starfield last year, I think I've had my fill of Bethesda type games. It's kind of, okay, we played Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. So Fallout 4 was, 9 years ago? And Fallout 3 many, many years before that kind of thing. It's kind of, I've got my fill of that gameplay loop and all the rest of it. And it's kind of, no, but I'm hearing great things about the show itself in terms of people going to get the best adaptation. And
Starfield was so bad, it made Fitz not want to watch Fallout on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, and people saying it's the best adaptation. What that actually means, who knows? Because it's all subjective kind of thing, as most reviews and opinions are kind of thing. But
sure,
it's one of these where people seem to be enjoying it. More power to you. Yeah, like enjoy yourself. Fill your boots of Fallout and enjoy the Fallout 4 next gen patch, which for some reason isn't already
won't.
out in release of the show, or a new new Vegas remaster, or
I am.
whatever you need to do. It's like when Naughty Dog had the TV adaptation, they had a new game ready to go with it for people who watch the show and are like, oh, I'm in the mood to play Fallout and all the rest of it. But as I understand
Play
it,
New
that's
Vegas.
not
If
ready.
you're in the mood to play a Fallout after watching the TV show and you've never played a
Mm-hmm.
Fallout, play New Vegas. To your point about the gameplay loop of Bethesda games, it's like a completely different type of game. I know it looks the same because it's the same engine, but like as far as like the gameplay is like a completely different like fork in the road of like Bethesda went one way and Obsidian went the other way. It's fascinating how like these two games came out within 2 years of each other, made in the same engine, and they're completely different experiences. Someone should make a video about that sometime. I'm gonna watch it because Walton Goggins is in it.
He sure is.
I fucking love
I
that
understand
man.
he plays the ghoul.
Yeah, I love that guy. He was Boy
All right,
Crowder
if
in
you're gonna watch it,
Justified.
I'll watch it.
He's stupendous in Justified because
you can have a good
Justified is one of the best
conversation
TV shows ever. Hill that I will die.
The last thing I saw him in was Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Didn't see that film. Can't comment. But I bet he was good in it.
He was in that. He was good in it.
Yeah, he's good in everything.
Yeah.
Tiny little weasel, yeah.
He's so good.
Maybe-
Ironically, to connect all of the dots in Justified, he plays a white supremacist.
There you go. Look at that. Moody, are you planning to check out Fallout? Available on Amazon Prime with
maybe.
adverts.
I'm not 100% sure.
Oh
yet,
yeah,
like,
the adverts. Shit, I forgot about that.
I'm not 100% sure yet. So
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna check it out. So
I mean, I have other shows that I need to catch up on first, so I've got like all the episodes of Shogun queued up. So I think whenever we're ready to jump into a new show, that might be the one to go to first.
watching Shogun will be a great accompaniment of playing Yakuza Like a Dragon.
Well, now that I had to reinstall Windows and lost everything, so any games I had installed on my machine, completely gone. So I have like a fresh palette of, I don't need to reinstall Baldur's Gate right now kind of thing. And if I were to reinstall Baldur's Gate, there's a chance I might start a new playthrough. So what if I make the first game? Well, actually, it'll be the third game I installed on this because I need to get Lethal Company and then Content Warning. But the third game I install should be Yakuza Like a Dragon.
I agree.
There you go.
It's happening. I'm wearing him down. I told you. I warned you. I warned you months ago. I'm very persistent.
Yes, that you did.
Just like not
Like,
over the
Vitz,
top.
how about now?
Like,
How about now?
Vitz,
How about now?
Vitz.
Hi.
Vitz. And it's like I never like start shouting. It's just always like, hey Vitz, I've got a great idea, Vitz.
Yeah.
It's a great idea, Vitz. Let's do an indie game of the week and then do some halftime because Amy needs to pee. I've done the thing that I sometimes do where it's like this week's indie game of the week is I don't know how to pronounce it properly. I think it's Japanese.
inKONBINI?
inKONBINI?
Yeah.
And I always hate it when I do that because like I feel like people are then going to search the wrong word because they've heard me say it in a way that
We can spell it out for them.
is not. I mean, there's a link in the description. Like, just go
That's
click on
true.
that. But it's called inKONBINI. One star, many stories. It's a slice of life, narrative-driven simulation game centered around a small-town convenience store in the early 1990s, where you shelve goods, engage in meaningful conversations with your customers, and explore the ways you can impact their lives with your decisions. And it looks like pretty cozy and like fairly wholesome. Like it looks nice. Like it looks like a nice game.
Hell yes.
I believe
And
there's
friends-
a demo, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
If you're in the mood to indulge yourself in 90s vibes, be sure to check out some of our messages on social media, for we are doing a cheeky little fundraiser for the fine folks over at Special Effect. One of the streaming goals that we have is to come around with some legally distinct 90s game shows. So if you're on those 90s vibes, then be sure to check out all the links that we have on all of our socials.
Yeah, do that. Do that. I forgot to do that in the intro because we're too busy talking about Nazis.
Pineapple and Nazis.
Pineapple and Nazis. We'll do that next. We'll figure something out next week. We can start actually telling people, hey, we're raising money for charity in the opening of the podcast. But yeah, no, inKONBINI. It's got a branching storyline. It's just a chill game. Stock some shelves, talk to some people. Bit of an RPG, maybe. But not like an RPG like Dragon's Dogma 2 or a rocket launcher. Like just a nice chill chill vibe game. Go check it out. The link's in the description down below. Hit that wish list button. Add it to your wish list. I believe the developers are targeting early 2025 for the game coming out. And you don't want to forget it. You don't want to forget about it. That wish list function, incredible. You get an email, Vitz. You get it, Moody. You get emails when games release. You never forget about a game again. I got one this morning, and I was like, oh, damn, that's out now? And then I bought it. Would I have forgotten about that game otherwise? 100%. I have a terrible memory.
Get emails. You also get emails when the games on your wish list go on sale.
Even better.
Exactly.
I mean, not for my bank account.
No.
But for my Steam library, it's great. Although I'm running into this funny problem. I've had it twice now, where I've seen a game somewhere, like a new release game somewhere. It's like popping off on OpenCritic, or some people are talking about it on social media. And I'm like, I wonder how much that costs to buy on Steam. And then I go on Steam, and it's like, Daff and Moody already owns this game. And I'm like, sick. And then I install it because my game shares.
One of the things Lauren and I did, so my partner, is we did because obviously I lost everything and had to sign into Steam again, and it delinked our accounts and whatnot, is we signed up for the beta for the family sharing thing. So yeah, that was good, and it seemed to work, although it doesn't apply to every game. So I believe it's a game-by-game basis, and the developer has to opt in to have a game be shareable across a family, for a better word. But yeah, I'll keep you posted on how that goes.
Sounds good. Shall we do a little halftime break?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Why not?
Let's do a little halftime break.
See you in a bit, friends.
See if we can try and raise the vibes. I realized that Moody's seen the Instagram post where I posted my retro games haul on Instagram, but I haven't actually waved it in his face yet. Or I found a physical copy of like his favorite game.
How much is that?
Final Fantasy IX. It was £12. So I bought 40. It's the platinum edition as well. So like the black label edition is more expensive, but they didn't have that one.
Can you get like a clear case from Etsy?
I'm gonna see if I can get like a replacement case, because obviously it's got a crack in the front of it. Like PlayStation 1 cases, notorious for breaking really easily,
right?
And also they are old. But no, like I bought 4 games today. This game was more expensive than the other 3 combined. But it was super worth it. So like I was playing Final Fantasy IX a bit last week on PS5. I think I'm going to stop playing it on PS5 and I'm going to play it on this one instead.
Wow.
Cool.
It's got 4 discs.
4
discs.
I imagine it's is it a PS4 version that you're playing on your PS5?
Yes.
Like a
it is. Yeah.
Does that have extra bells and whistles to it in terms of like boost mode and things like that?
Yeah, it's got all the boost modes and
But now you don't want that.
No.
Because you want the original experience.
I wasn't using that anyway, so I was getting the original experience. But I mean, now I've got it on my PS5. But this one also comes with a manual.
Wow.
Final Fantasy manuals are great because like you get like character profiles. Like it's really hard to like paper. But like it's got the characters and stuff in them. And like, check this out. It's got an advert on the back for a bunch of other Squaresoft games. Final Fantasy VIII. Parasite Eve 2.
Wow.
And then there's a customer service number. Should I try ringing the customer service number and see what happens?
Yeah, absolutely.
Imagine if it's still there.
Say hi, what are you stuck on?
Yeah.
Just like a proper Janine Melnitz on the other.
What do you want?
Final Fantasy, what do you want?
But yeah, I thought I just wanted to show off Beauty because
No, hell yeah, that's awesome.
it's his Final Fantasy.
That's awesome. That's
yeah.
awesome. So I'm sorry, I'm going to bring down the mood a little bit. So we're going to go to, because the number of 8,100 plus layoffs has to be reiterated because literally just dropped by a game developer. EA has reportedly killed, or close to say, Apex Legends UK-based QA team, with over 50 contract workers having allegedly been let go from Apex Legends QA team in the UK weeks before their contracts expire. This is from the game developer from Justin Carter. Insider Gamer reports Respawn's Apex Legends will lose 50 contractors based in the UK. EA has reportedly shut down the region's security team for the popular Battle Royale, according to the outlet. These cuts are separate from the previous cuts in March. The QA team were told their contracts were expiring in a few weeks, wouldn't be renewed, and also claimed their managers weren't informed until hours later by those affected. The UK team was first formed. It's claimed the UK team performed its tasks well, with one source alleging everything seemed to be heading in to a normal renewal, but the cuts are part of a larger restructuring EA first revealed in February. EA has previously laid off Apex QA staff in 2023 within nearly 300 workers in the Baton Rouge, LA. Like with the UK team, this was done without any prior warning. So QA is just getting kicked around as always. Developers in general just getting kicked around as always, and it just continues with the constant crap of in the industry. So thanks, EA. Thank you very much. Don't know what that brings the number up to now, but
1 million.
1 million, bloody hell. Well, probably will eventually. But no, yeah, that's just crap. As always, when it comes to this, I hope everyone lands on their feet and everything. Actually, there is what I see, because I'm part of LinkedIn, there was a lot of jobs going, but at the same time, it's just like, how many can you actually fill? Because these are thousands of people. There are thousands of jobs out there. It's just like, are you willing to relocate? Are you willing to be able to do that? Are you even able to do that? Like, I know I was in a very privileged situation where I was able to do it and everything. It's not something I would very much like to do again. Like I've stated before, like if I leave the place I'm at now, my aim will be to come back to where I used to live in the Northeast and everything. That's the only next relocation that I want, really, you know?
Apparently, I'm on there too, so.
Apparently, yeah, it's cold up there, so it'll be nice and cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll just hang out and just get a room together, and that'll be our podcast room.
Could you imagine doing this podcast in the same room as each other? One of us isn't making it out of that room.
Each week, it'll be a flip of the coin. Who leaves? Who doesn't make it out this
It'll
week?
be Amy murdering Vitz for making yet another asset when she specifically told him, that's it, stop. Step
Hey,
away
Vitz,
from
have you
the
started playing
keyboard."
Yakuza Like a Dragon yet? No, but I have remade
But I got
this
these
asset
assets.
again. No, why are you picking up your microphone arm and closing in on me menacingly? Yeah, like, I don't know. It's this weird situation where like stories of layoffs pass through every day, like every week at the very least. And it's just like, how do you put them in the podcast without just? I don't want to be that person that's just saying them for the sake of saying them, and I have nothing to add to it because, like, you know, it sucks that these people are being laid off. Like, there's no need for it. Apex Legends is like one of those few live service games that sticks and actually like makes money. So like they don't need to lay off these people. Boy, it looks great on the quarterly earnings reports or whatever. And
if you've got money for doing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth integrations, then you got enough money to keep these people on, you know.
Yeah, and you need them. Like, I don't know if you know this year, but QA is quite important. In fact, looking at the state of Star Wars last year.
Yeah, last year.
Last year, yeah. I think you might need the refresher that QA teams are quite important. Just based on my personal experience of playing that video game. But
That's true.
like, I
Like,
mean,
I've just had a look. Oh,
sorry, just to add on another point, just to really bring the mood right down. Like, I saw the pop off from some people that I know in the industry, who were laid off from Frontier Developments,
Yeah, that's that as
and
well.
I think it was a few months ago. It's all starting to bleed together, but the Frontier Developments is now advertising for those positions that were made redundant.
That's odd.
Not really, no, because they're probably going to hire people and pay them less money. And also, it's the thing I said when we made this like the big topic of the podcast, when I was talking about the companies that are running themselves like tech companies, not like production companies. In that, like, they will staff up again. Like, they're cutting all of their things now because this is the only thing they can do to make the numbers look bigger and generate that boom cycle again. And then they'll just hire all of the roles again. And then they'll make them redundant again, and then they'll hire them again. And then they'll make them redundant again, and they'll hire them again, and then...
Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah, and I hope everyone lands on their feet as soon as possible.
Yes.
Of course.
The industry may hate you, but we all love you.
Mm-hmm. It's very true. You make very good things that I enjoy a lot.
And break them
Hell
in
yes.
front of me
Right in front of you.
while I watch.
I'll force you to watch me break your video games. Look at this, Moody. Look at this. This wall. This wall's now in a collision, Moody. Who QA'd this?
Dunno.
This is
Some
what I mean.
schmuck.
This is what I mean by the fact that one of us wouldn't make it out of that room alive every week.
No doubt, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
So we've established I'm getting murdered first, then Amy's getting murdered.
Mine will be
Sounds
end,
like
though.
it,
I'll
yeah.
deserve mine.
I mean, my only hope is that the bees get me before Amy does. So yeah.
Not the bees, not the
bees.
bees.
I'll get you with the bees. I'll find the bees. I'll put them in a little cage, and then I'll throw them into the room, and then close the door.
Yeah.
Let's do some balance. So let's go to Xbox to set up a game preservation team. And what's the biggest technical leap ever for its next gen system?
Okay, so yeah, this is a story via Eurogamer about some statements that Xbox President Sarah Bond made recently. How, yeah, as I said, they've established a new team dedicated to video game preservation and forward compatibility. So Xbox, one of the many things they can be applauded for is their manner in which they have allowed Xbox fans to bring their entire library with them to the latest systems and bringing a raft of improvements, be it better frame rates or better resolution and additional benefits like keeping multiplayer alive on some titles. And these relate to even original Xbox titles all the way through to the previous gen of Xbox One and what have you. And one of the things Sarah Bond was saying is that now they've created a team specifically to make sure that this continues and applies to even more titles going forward. And I think that can only be a good thing. Yeah, let's start on that one first, because the other part of the statement that Sarah...
I have thoughts on the second half of that headline.
Yes, me too. That's the bit I want to get to, but let's give praise where it's due, please.
But like, as Words About Games' resident game preservation shouter person, I don't know. Like, yeah, like I look like I have a like I was telling Vitz when I was looking around the retro game places and everything. Like, I saw a Sega Saturn. And I just immediately was just like that, like pressed up against the case, like, oh my god, it's a Sega Saturn. And like I have a list in my head of like consoles that I like really want to add to my collection. Consoles that I would like to add to my collection, maybe at some point, and then like the lower priority ones. And because of the way Xbox is handling backwards compatibility, their old consoles are low on my list because I don't feel like I need them. Because like if I want to play Fusion Frenzy, I can just buy it digitally and play it on my current Xbox, which is fucking amazing considering like it's 4 generations. It's been 4 console generations since that game came out. You know, like I can play Halo whenever I want. The Like, so their backwards compatibility has always been great. It's not perfect, but in a world where unfortunately like video game preservation is tied to licenses and other companies like have to like sign off on having their games available for backwards compatibility, like I understand why not 100% of Xbox's past library is available. And when I say I understand it, I obviously don't agree with it, but I know it's not really Xbox's fault that like I can't digitally purchase a copy of Silent Hill Downpour and play it on my current Xbox. I get that that's not Xbox's decision. Like what I really like about this part of the announcement is the because they're probably not going to be able to expand their backwards compatibility much further unless they manage to make deals with other companies. But the idea that they're going to commit to this being a thing in the next console generation, right? Of like, you'll still be able to play a Fusion Frenzy on the next Xbox. Like, we're going to make sure that when we make the next console, backwards compatibility is still gonna come with it. That's exactly what I want from all the console manufacturers.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't want to
first movement.
Like, I'm a weird nerd, and I would have like, and I've bought like games that I literally own that are like ported and remastered on like current generation consoles, but like I don't want it like have to buy like the physical versions of Final Fantasy IX for PlayStation 1 and play it on my PlayStation 2. Like it to me, in an ideal world, like every game would be available like to purchase in some way, shape, or form. So I can just buy, if I feel like it, I can just buy it and play it on whatever current platform that I prefer to play it on. Like, I own Resident Evil 1, 2, and 3 from the PS1 days. Like again, like this. They don't have boxes. They're in my CD case. Because I've owned those for like decades. But like if they released those games on PlayStation, I'd buy them in a heartbeat. Would I play them on my PlayStation? I mean, probably not. I'd probably stick them in the PS2 and play them on my little CRT TV because I'm just, again, weird nerd. But it'd be great if other people could like experience and play those games.
Absolutely, and have the convenience of having your entire library still available to you.
Yeah, because
that's what this. Sorry, I was just going to say that's what this generation has brought. Possibly more than any other generation, is just convenience of stuff that works, and especially with the Microsoft side, it's any game that, pretty much any game that you have or you have a yearn to play, you can pop that disc or re-download it from the Xbox Digital Store, and it will run better than it ever has done, kind of thing for you. And it's one of these where it just works, and it's great that this initiative is going to continue, and it's going to be front and foremost. And I know Xbox has been on this push of we're going to put players first and making consumer first led choices. This is another great one.
It is, yeah, it absolutely is. Like, it's important to preserve art. Like, even just stepping outside of video games, I think it's important to just preserve art. And you know, there's always that argument of, well, are we really going to try and preserve Right to Hell Retribution, like one of the worst video games of all time? Like, yeah, we should. I think we should preserve all of it. I don't think anyone should decide.
Not only as a warning from history.
A warning. Don't do this. But no, just I think we should. I think all games should be available in some way, shape, or form, either commercially or non-commercially. Like, if you do not plan on selling this game to me, then it should be available for me to download. And play it however like I can play it. And I've always believed that, and I always will. Like I've been like on and off like tinkering with a video script about game preservation. It's a passion of mine. And like emulation is the way forward. And I know when people hear that, they think, "Oh, video game piracy," and like, I mean, one. The emulation community has done more for game preservation than anyone else, but in a non like piracy way, like that's how your Switch Online games work. They're being emulated. That's how Xbox backwards compatibility works. It's being emulated. Like, and I get that it's not like a simple process, especially considering like, you know, video game consoles way back when were built differently than they are now. Like,
PlayStation 3s aren't shipping with the emotion engine from PlayStation 2 in it.
I get why you can't just shove Resident Evil 2 into your PS5 and it just works. Like, no, it will not just work. Like that's not possible. I get that it's work, but I think it's work that if the video game industry truly wants to be taken seriously as an artistic medium, I think that's work that needs to be done. Otherwise, I don't see how you can be taken seriously.
You can't just rely on remasters and remakes of titles in order for them to.
Yeah, it's a fundamentally different experience. Like playing Resident Evil 2 remake is a fundamentally different game than playing Resident Evil 2 original, and that's fine. I like both of those games, but like both should exist. Like. It's like Absolutely. The argument of no matter what I think about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, the original is still there.
Absolutely, it sure is. And to balance what Xbox is doing to Nintendo, I know we just mentioned them, but like what they did with the Super Mario Brothers 3D All Stars collection, of how the digital version of the game had artificial scarcity of you had a limited window to buy that game digitally, and then it was taken off the store for no good reason.
It's like that was utterly ridiculous. Like, I get why Nintendo do artificial scarcity; they do it with so many of their fucking products, but it's just like at a certain point, you're not letting me give you money for a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know why you think that's a great idea, because like, I talk about like going out and buying, like, I know I'm holding up Final Fantasy IX a lot, and I can hear one of the discs is loose, so I'm doing it very gently. Oh, no. But like I bought this today. PlayStation and the Square didn't get a penny, like out of this sale, because that's how it works. Like that's how like video game collection works. But imagine if they sold these.
Yes.
Like people would buy them. It's a wild concept, and I know it's a bad example because you can literally buy it on the PlayStation Store right now. But
for those who are like-minded who want that collection, or even just to put to mount those in frames and hang them on the wall, that kind of thing for art pieces, and you find a lot of these creators have stores on Etsy who take classic video game boxes and box art and whatnot, and then make them into art pieces. But yeah, they're leaving money on the table, and in an industry where people are saying, well, the markets are shrinking and nobody's buying, they're not spending enough money, then surely you want to explore every avenue that you can, I want to say decently make additional revenue from, but it's not like a scummy way to go about it. But yeah. Let's move on to the second part.
I have stalled, waiting for Moody to get back as much as I can. Moody's all like, hey, let's talk about something more lighthearted. See you later.
Sarah, I adore you. I adore your work ethic. I adore your badass leather jackets that you wear and the presence that you have when you come out and you say these things. However, some of the things you're saying, you are setting yourself up for failure, girl, and it's going to come bite you on the ass. And what's worse is, because you happen to be a woman of color in the industry and you are president of Xbox, it's going to sting. Sadly, it's going to sting harder than if you were, let's say, a white man, for example. And it's all very well saying you want the biggest technical leap ever, but
impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible, and you're, as I said before, you're setting yourself for failure. We're not in a place anymore where we're jumping from the Super Nintendo to PlayStation 1 or N64, that kind of thing. When we're going from 2D to predominantly 3D graphics, you're not going to get that. We're in the realm of diminishing returns, and for sure we can provide additional convenience and things can run faster, and we can have SSDs which load faster and remove in-game loading and all that good stuff. But yeah, this is completely insane what you're saying. I get that you're saying this to impress your investors, and they think, oh well, biggest technology leap ever. They don't know what that shit means. You're just saying that so they'll give you more money, but it's going to blow up in your face.
Yeah,
there's no way this doesn't end well.
It's the tech bro hype cycle thing, right? It's like, it's going to be the biggest technical leap ever, and it's like, I get why you're saying it. You should stop because that's not what's going to happen. Unfortunately, like we're not in the era, like you said, of like PS1 to PS2 or Super Nintendo to N64. Like if you take like each console generation and pick out like 5 games from each console generation and just look at the differences. Like not even like in terms of like how they run, how they play, anything like that. Like you'll see like big leaps become big leaps, and then eventually like it's like, okay, well these leaps are getting smaller now because there's only so far you can push this in terms of the technology, in terms of the graphics, stuff like that. So it's a wild statement to make. I understand why she's making it, but anyone who knows anything about the topic is just it's just going, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. But yeah, look, more power to you if somehow you manage to pull this off. I can't even fathom how this works. Because even if you say, oh, we're throwing more teraflops at this than ever before kind of thing, that it still doesn't make a difference because it's still dependent on developers utilizing whatever power they have. And if they're building for multiple systems, because as the Xbox strategy suggests, games that go multi-platform, then they're not going to utilize all the power that you're throwing at this thing. And like I said, it's going to blow up in your face. And obviously no one wants this to happen for it to blow up in your face, but I don't see a future where it doesn't.
Plus, if you try to cram all of this into an affordable consumer product, it will probably quite literally blow up in your face when you push the power button. I meant the console will explode first.
But yeah, game presentation good. Everything else, maybe take another think about that.
maybe take the hype down a notch.
Moody, we tried to bring the mood up, and we did for a little bit, but then we read the rest of her statement.
Yeah. Sorry. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Speaking of video game companies making dumb things and dumb decisions, can I quickly touch on a little bit of Square Enix news?
It's just the email that you got.
Yeah, so Square Enix sent an email out for all those who have, or all those who are media interested in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. And they essentially sent an email which was themed around, hey, you visited the Golden Saucer. Tell us about your experience. And it reads, Dear guests, we hope you enjoyed your stay. Got a minute? We'd love to hear from you. How was your Final Fantasy VII Rebirth experience? When I got this email, I was like, okay, oh, sweet. I'm going to have an opportunity here to get some constructive feedback about the things that I loved about this game, the things that I would change about this game, the things which I think could be tightened up in certain areas, the things which, I thought this area of the game was a little too bloated, this area was a little too hard in terms of difficulty spikes and X, Y, and Z. Nope, none of that. It is indeed it's a Likert scale based on 5 stars, and the options go as this. I finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and can't wait to see what's next. I haven't finished Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, but I'm working on it. I haven't started Final Fantasy Rebirth, but I own it. I don't own Final Fantasy Rebirth, but I want to play it. I don't own Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, and I don't plan on buying it. This data you're going to gain from this email has 0 value to you because you know how many people have played it. Due to all the other stats you get from PlayStation, from the trophies data that you can get in terms of where people are at, have they completed all 14 chapters, that kind of thing, have they completed the game, and all the rest of it. It infuriated me beyond belief. Of this was a window for you to gain some real constructive feedback from the people who supposedly mean the most to you, the people who are spending their hard-earned money to play this game that have waited years for. But no, this is another weird Square Enix decision.
I love that.
I just wanted to bring it to
I just love that, like the option that is like, I finished it and I can't wait to see next. Where's my option? where it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I finished it, and I'm terrified about what you're about to do next.
Yes.
Like, your options are you either haven't finished it yet, or you finished it and you loved it. You loved it.
Mhm.
Whatever you say, whatever you think, it's wrong. You loved it.
And I clicked on the email. The one that was most relevant to me. I finished Final Fantasy Rebirth, and there's no follow-up screen for you to give like an open-ended answer or anything like that. It just goes through to a page that says "Thank you for your response." And I was like, "What?"
When I got the email about
Oh.
Princess Peach Showtime, it was like there was like 12 questions.
Yeah.
Space to write things.
But yeah. Where would you like to go next, friends?
God damn it, Square, you bastards. Stop embarrassing yourselves. I'm still hung up on the we don't want people to think it's a gay game.
Just sucking up the goodwill of the people. God damn it. Can you hear them crying out?
Bring
I
back
know you can.
bring back Squaresoft, that's what I say.
There you go.
Let's go to game stuff. Discovered 0-hour contract move via mass Microsoft Teams calls.
I got excited for a second there when you said games because I thought, oh, we're going to actually talk about games? And then you're like, no, we're going to talk about the shop. Right. Okay, we'll talk about the staff first. Yeah, so the staff members at Game had a big mass Microsoft Teams call from, I guess, corporate management or whatever, to be told that all of their non-management staff are going to be forced onto 0 hours contracts and there will be redundancies. And also they call their employees cast members.
Like they work at Disney.
Like they work at Disney. They do not work at Disney. I've been in a game shop. But yeah, no. Excuse me. Like they're going to have 0 hour contracts, which are just a blight on the world in general. Where is it? At the end of the call, staff were told, following a meeting with their cluster manager, the firm's next management level down from area manager. We're too far. The company's various area managers held the calls. Store managers aren't going to have their contracts cut down to 0 hours. But apparently assistant managers are going to not be assistant manager. It's a mess, basically. Game is a mess. Can we just say that? Like, as much as I like feel for everybody who works in a game store, like right now, and like this fucking sucks, and it probably didn't need to happen. Like, but you know, just bad decisions made over the course of a decade. The game as a company, like, it doesn't know what it wants. It's telling that I went scouting around for video games for like 2 hours today, and I went to a bunch of different places, but did not go to the place called Game.
That wasn't exclusively because most game stores are actually hidden within other stores these days.
Well, we have one, so we have an actual like non.
Oh, you.
Because yeah, sports. The company that bought them moved a bunch of their stores into Sports Direct. Because sport.
Yeah, it's
everybody thinks when they think video games, they think, I'll check the sports store. Big crossover there, but. Yeah, no, we actually have a game store, like an actual like standalone store. It's full of fucking Funko Pops.
Yep.
And plushies, which is great. Not saying either of those things is bad, but they should probably also fill it with video games.
Yeah, but I will say, obviously, this story is about the game staff and 0 hours contract, but I think this is systemic across a bunch of video games. Physical stores. So we're seeing Game Stop. I always get that. I need to slow down because I say GameSpot too much, but that's something else kind of thing. But we see them trying to to constantly reinvent the wheel when it comes to, okay, this is what our stores are going to be about. And it's one of these things where, because digital video game sales are what it is, and they continue to grow in popularity because of the convenience that it offers, not so much obviously the price disparity and all the rest of it, these stores are having to divest in okay, what else can we sell? Okay, we can sell merch, we can sell plastic, we can sell Funko Pops, we can sell anything else that's to do outside of the video game space. And it's kind of one of these things of it's of course it's a slippery slope, and it only ends in one direction. It's a kind of this is a sinking ship, and I appreciate that you may not want to leave your job, but that decision may be made for you before it's too late, kind of thing. Before it's too late for you to do something about it.
Yeah. Like the thing is, game is more expensive than everywhere else. Like, even if just for video games and video game accessories, like, you don't go to game.
No.
Like, because you can get things cheaper elsewhere. I'm not even necessarily talking about online. Like,
yeah.
Like, go to Amazon. No, I'm talking about just going somewhere else that sells video games. Like, you can probably get the damn things for cheaper. Like, go somewhere else on the high street that sells video game controllers. You'll get them cheaper than you will at game.
Absolutely.
And like, they stopped taking trade-ins. They stopped selling pre-owned games. They stopped selling old retro games, like older games, like things that they can sell for a decent profit, things that people are looking for, and will buy from them if they can find them, if they're reasonably priced. And unfortunately, it's just been a downhill slope from
And the thing with getting into the used market, they keep 100% of the revenue on those sales.
Yeah.
Got rid of that business.
Yeah, like, and just said when we were talking about Xbox and preservation, it's like they would have kept all of the money if I'd have bought this from them. But no, like, I don't know, it's a weird one where it's just like they made a lot of baffling decisions as a company in the past decade or so, and it fucking sucks that like they've fucked themselves in this way.
Yeah, I remember saying to you both about me being diametrically opposed to anything that Mike actually is involved with, who is the final boss of the Sports Direct, like House of Fraser empire, and it's one of these where that person is a terrible scourge on the earth. But sorry, Moody, I cut across you.
No, it's all right. The thing is about it, like they obviously this all started basically when obviously the last generation came into boot and everything. And that was obviously when Twitch and everything and streaming and whatnot came. But I think one of its most prevalent things since then, it's obviously just gone to strength for strength for strength when it comes to streaming and whatnot. And they obviously tried to jump on the bandwagon of like just like online gaming and like teams and whatnot. So obviously they went into like creating like back parts of their stores with PC games, and like so they can come and do tournaments and whatnot. I won't lie, at the time when that was hot, I was thinking I was saying to myself, that sounds really awesome. Like a place where like-minded kids can come and like play games with their friends and everything like that. If they don't have the setup and everything, that sounds really kind of awesome and whatnot. And it just obviously just didn't come to fruition and whatnot, and the winds went another way. I agree with you. Like, it's baffling to me why they stopped taking in pre-owned consoles, like taking trade-ins and like and pre-owned games and whatnot. It just makes no sense to me why they're doing that and whatnot. I don't care. Like, I think we talked about it ages ago, and one of the reasons was we have so many. I was thinking, what's the problem?
Yeah. Sell them.
Yeah, sell the buggers. If you're selling them at too high a price, that's on you at the end of the day and whatnot. And don't give us a shit if it's the marketing. It's the market.
The market will tell you how much it's worth.
Well, like I said to Vitz, and I know you missed it, so I'll reiterate it. When I was in one of the CEXs I visited today on my retro game crawl, I saw a Sega Saturn for £145, and if I had £145, I would have bought the damn thing. Like, people will set their own limits for like what they will be willing to spend, and like people will be willing to spend a not insignificant amount of money on stuff like that.
That's the thing about it. Like, going off what you just said, that like I've been like contemplating like going like, because I'm like, I haven't really spoken about it, but like if you both know, I've just bought this, the PlayStation Portable and everything. I'm absolutely loving it. It's amazing. It's so good. It connects so great with my console, and I'm just like playing away on my games and everything with it. While like I mean, my mum was down with me this week watching TV and everything, or like when my partner returns, obviously next week, I'll just be like that all the time because this is just so damn good. But I've also been like contemplating. Do I go out and get an old XL 3DS or 2 because I want to go out and play those old Pokemon games that were the PlayStation. For some weird reason, they're taking their sweet ass time to bring to Switch and everything. I'm just thinking, I can just go out and just buy them.
Yeah, you can.
You know, am I willing? Am I willing to do that? And say yes. Ultimately, it'll take time to obviously build up all the games I want to play, but that gives me time just to play one and then go out and get the other one. Type of thing, and it's like that's basically. I think that's ultimately what I'm going to decide to do. Is just, I'm not the biggest fan of CEX. I think they're a deplorable company in so many ways. How they handled when this generation came out, I thought was deplorable.
How they allegedly treat their staff as well, but like they have hit onto a great strategy as far as video games is, which
they serve a purpose in today's market.
Like they're one of like the best places to find retro games, and as much as like I've criticized their pricing models in the past, they're actually pretty reasonable for the most part. Like there are some games that are fucking really expensive, but that's because they're really rare. It makes sense. Like there was a PS2 copy of a old survival horror game called Haunting Ground, and it was like £100 behind the till, and I did the whole thing from Wayne's World, where he's looking at the guitar and the music goes oh, and I was like, you will be mine. Oh yes, you will be
one
mine.
day,
because one day I will buy that
right now. I'm looking at it right now. I can get the blue 3DS XL for £125.
Yeah,
I have no problem probably doing that.
Yeah,
it's like
there was a guy at the retro store. I know we're veering slightly, but there was this guy at the retro store who was with his kid and talking to the guy who owns the retro store, and he was saying like, I used to have all this stuff and I threw it away, and it's like, yeah, we all did. We're all fucking idiots, and now we're all out here trying to buy it again, and it's like that's a market that you can capitalize on, and these people are doing that. And game went in a different direction where it was like they're going to sell merch, and I respect the fact that they went down that route to try and like continue to make money. And I have bought merch from game, like the Isabelle from Animal Crossing plushie that's behind me. Like Moody bought me that when we were at game once. And I respect the fact that they do sell some merch that is really good, but the problem is that everything they've chosen to invest in terms of stock and what they sell, somebody else does it better, so I'm gonna go there. Retail, like high street retail isn't dying, it's changing, and it needs to be a destination thing, right? Like everybody goes to Waterstones because they have a huge selection of books, and because they have events, because they have their book clubs, because they have authors. It's not just a shop that you go in that has books, and they filled like 2 floors of the fucking bookshop full of fucking Funko Pops, because no one's going to Waterstones to buy Funko Pops. They're going for books and book related products, and I walked past that game shop today, and it's just like I looked at it and I was just like, what would I even buy in there?
The only thing I can see in there that I would want to buy is the plushies.
Yeah.
Because they sell some bang-ass plushies.
They do sell some banging plushies, but again, just around the corner from that game, from my local game store, is an HMV, and they sell better plushies.
Yes,
and they have a bigger variety. So I'm going to go there. Like, the problem is that, because I've been in game a few times and I've bought a couple of plushies, it's like, well, cool, now I have all of the ones that I want, and you're not...
Yeah, you've exhausted the library.
You're not diversifying. You've got the same 7 Pokemon that you've had for the last 5 years. Like, if you had other Pokemon, I would buy them. But you never do, so I don't. It's that kind of...
Unless you come out with new Bulbasaur ones, because Moody's all over that.
I mean, yeah, sure. Like, Moody will buy every single variation of Bulbasaur. But again, there's only one type of bloody Bulbasaur plushie in there. It's like, you haven't even diversified your Bulbasaurs. You don't even have an Ivysaur, for God's sake. And I hate to be that person who's sitting here, complaining about this. Not even complaining about this stuff, just pointing this stuff out when it's like people are going to lose their jobs, because people are going to lose their jobs, but because of this stuff. And, I get that, they're big belong arenas, which is what Moody was talking about. Like, you know, the pandemic had a hugely negative impact on that. And that sucks, and there's nothing they could have done about that. But like every other pivot that they've made has been their own problem. Like every problem that they've had has been a problem of the making of the people who are running the company.
Yeah.
And as we've seen throughout the video game industry, we're now seeing here, it's people make bad decisions in management positions, and it's the employees that suffer.
Yeah.
And basically what I'm saying is, get the guillotines out. Come on, everybody, let's just get the fucking guillotines out. We'll eat the rich. We'll have a party. It'll be like the French Revolution all over again. Let's just do it. That's the way out of this.
Pretty badass with a sword. I'm just saying.
One way to find out.
Yeah.
Viva la revolution.
That's it.
Mooney, do you want to talk about open roads?
Yeah, why not?
Feel free.
This is a bit where you talk about.
Go ahead.
I think I just crashed there a little bit. Yeah, sorry. Let me just get it up a little bit on my end. So
It's like the old Simpsons joke. I can't even remember it.
okay.
I'd be a better public speaker meme.
Bite me. Open Roads is an adventure mystery thriller video game developed by the Open Roads team and published by Annapurna Interactive. This game's very much a bit of a mixed bag for me overall. I'm not going to lie. I enjoyed the overall visual style and everything what they were going for. I'm always interested with different unique visual styles instead of just going for the massive 4K ultra 60 frames.
These horse testicles shrink when it gets cold.
yeah. Like me every time like me and Amy watch like a conference or something like that, we just go, oh, okay, seeing that. Oh, what's that? The type of thing. It's normally the small little indie game that
pixels.
Which we just absolutely love and adore and everything. The voice acting I think is really well done by both the people who played the mother and the daughter. They're really well done. And I really like the dynamic of the story of the daughter of just like not knowing what's happened between her father and her mother. And also a story of just like this little mystery that comes full circle for the mother and everything, which is really good storytelling, which I really liked. What really kind of hampers this game down is the game mechanics for the story. Like the game mechanics to kind of be very slow, very methodical, and it's just something that just slowed it too far down for me, where I was just like, okay, kind of just can we get moving a little bit type of thing.
We don't have a long run time here. Come on, we need to
yeah,
speed this thing up.
yeah. I was just like, I was done by. I finished Vember already, guys. Come on, Jesus. That's the bar point. But no, yeah, it's like there are some really good elements to it. I thought the music was really lovely. I thought the story was really well done. Voice acting's really well done for the two characters, mother and daughter story, really well done. There's just something that was just missing. The thing that made me go wants me to go. Now that was something what was fantastic, or was really something that's worth your time and everything. I think it's an okay game overall. Story, like I say, really good. Visuals well done and everything. But like, if you're looking for something to really give you that that thing that you're wanting for a video game, I don't think this hits it. But let me know if you play this game.
Sorry, I was going to say your description and like general vibes of what you're coming at. It reminds me of that one game that we both played on Game Pass a couple of years ago. Had that one character, and he was like, "Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough." And that was the thing he always said on Faz, and that's the only thing I remember about the game because it was hilarious. Last stop. Yeah, where it was like, it's good, but it doesn't quite. Get there.
Yeah. And this is what this is personally as well for me. Which is a shame. Like I was looking forward to it after Amy reminded me of this game was coming out, and I think it was something that I was kind of needing. Just that small little side little game that can just distract me while the next thing comes around for me. And like I finished it, but like I was just like,
and not in a good way.
Yeah. Shout out to the cast. So starring Caitlin Dever and the one and only Kerry Russell. Caitlin Dever, you may know from such amazing movies as Booksmart, and is currently
and Justified. She was in Justified. She's amazing. Best TV show ever.
Justified,
Go check it.
and currently hidden the gym and eating all the protein she can, because she's going to be playing Abby in the next series of The Last of Us over on HBO.
oh, she's one of the voice actresses. I did not realize that.
Yeah, and Kerry Russell, you may know her from Mission Impossible 3, Felicity, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and Waitress.
Hold on, I'm just checking if she was in Justified.
That's a cracking cast. I did not.
Yeah.
realize. Thank you, Vitz.
You're welcome.
She wasn't in Justified. Okay.
Oh,
I
it's just an excuse to talk about Justified again.
Yeah, it's a great show. Everybody should watch
But yeah,
it.
if you haven't seen Booksmart, check out Booksmart. It's a brilliant film.
Yeah, a very endearing little film. That
Yeah.
I agree with you. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what she can do with Abby. Very
With
interesting.
a golf club.
Yeah.
Just stay off social media.
Did you see that news? I know, like, just a very quick tangent. After you talked about Open Roads, did you see the thing? All the jokes people were making where it was like, oh, Pedro Pascal's already finished filming for The Last of Us Season 2.
Yeah.
So many jokes.
Everyone's losing
I
their
loved
minds.
it. It's just like, oh,
As
he
if
did
he
that
only had a
really
couple of
fast. It's
scenes to
like, yeah,
film.
he did that really fast, didn't he? I wonder why.
Yeah, people. It was really funny that when I saw that, I was tempted to actually throw it in here last couple of weeks ago, like to put it on here just to laugh about
Just
it.
so we can have a good
But-
laugh. Like,
Yeah, basically, but just like to tell everyone, I'll say this to everybody, like he's a very busy man right now, and he's probably juggling things around like crazy right now. He's probably not finished filming The Last of Us. He's finished. I'm going to surmise he's finished the very pivotal scene that's going to happen in The Last of Us Part 2.
he's a very talented actor. He did all of his scenes in like one take, and now he's gone on a golfing holiday. It's fine.
Yeah.
to the
He's
MCU.
in The Masters.
Yeah.
He's
He's going to play some
off-
golf.
Yeah,
Caitlin
in the
Jenner.
MCU. Yeah, he's Reed Richards in the MCU, so he's going to be. He's
But
gonna
no,
be doing
like,
that for the
you know,
show.
Sure is.
It's a shame about that's a shame about Open Run. It's like, it's one of those where it was like I thought about playing it when it came out, and then I was like, nah, like I wasn't feeling it. But like, it's one of those where it's like it's so short that if I do feel like it, I can just do it whenever and be done with it like straight away. But like, I don't know, I might try it myself. We'll see.
Yeah.
But it's a shame that you didn't quite get there for you.
Yeah. I took the other game off because I haven't played enough of it to really.
No, I was gonna say, I would have cut 2 games, like talking about video games sooner, and then I saw the other one, and I was like, oh. But yeah,
I haven't completed it, so I can't comment on it.
that's fair. I mean, you can. You just why not wait? So let's
A little open critic.
let's do a little bit of Open Critic. Let's check in on those all important review scores, the most important things in video game discourse. Numbers out of 100. This is the game we play every single week where we try to guess the Open Critic average of upcoming games. Whoever guesses closest to the score gets a point. But if you guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. But really, it's just an excuse for us to talk about video games. Last week, we tried to guess the Open Critic scores of 2 games. The first one, Botany Manor. Botany Manor. Not Bay. Manor. Moody guessed it, we get a 68. I guessed it, we get a 73. Vitz guessed it, we get a 72. We're all pessimists because at the time of recording, Botany Manor has an Open Critic average of 84. But I was high.
GG's are getting the point, James.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Botany Bay.
Botany Bay?
Oh, no. We all
Um,
shot too low.
yeah, no, like it was more of a lack of trust thing than a
Exactly.
than a thinking about like how good the game might be kind of thing.
Looking at the art style, I was like, oh damn, it's a witness save all over again.
Yeah, it's like a manor full of plants, and you
Yep.
solve puzzles.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
I didn't think the schmucks would play this, but they did.
I thought they would play it.
It's
I thought they would be like, "Oh, you can't shoot the plants. This fucking sucks." But
What do you mean there's no poison ivy in this?
this is one of the this is one of the DCEU films. These things suck.
Yeah. What is this, plant breasts?
I want to see some titties with plants on them. Where's Harley Quinn?
There you go.
God damn.
Where's Lady Gaga when you need her?
But yeah, no, like it looks like a nice chill game, and I'm glad that people are really enjoying it. Like it has made me like go, I'm not in the mood for a puzzle game, but maybe I'll try this one. It's the power of positive receptions.
This can't be right. I know that this got to be OpenCritic's wrong here, right? They said it's only on it's on Switch. I understand, PC I understand, but it's on Xbox One and PlayStation 4. It's not on the new generations. No,
it's on PlayStation.
Yeah,
No.
it's also available on Game Pass. So I think
it's a Game Pass game.
Yeah,
It's on everything. Yeah, so it's like what? I was like, what the fuck?
yeah. I'm sure the listening's
get
just
your
wrong.
shit sorted. Okay, get your shit sorted.
Look, right? I don't go to OpenCritic for anything other than numbers to play this game with. Like, I don't go there to decide what games I'm going to play. I don't go there to find out information about games. Like, I just need these numbers so I can assign scores to people, mostly Moody, and then we can see who's going to win at the end of the year. Moody.
Yeah.
But we did do a second game.
Sure
Children of the Sun. Moody guessed it, we get a 78. I guessed it, we get an 81. Vitz guessed it, we get an 82. At the time of recording, Children of the Sun has an OpenCritic score of 82, which means Vitz gets 2 points. Vitz has decided
begins.
He's either going to score 2 points or no points.
Oh, no points.
This apparently is not doing very well in the old sales department. Like I've seen the developer of the game talking about it. Like, discoverability is ass. Basically, is what it boils down to. Or it's like you can have like an amazing Steam Next Fest demo with a massive positive reception, and people still just cannot find the game, which really sucks. But I also saw a review for this game, like the blurbs on OpenCritic, and one of them was like, it's not got very good replayability, and I was like, do you go to a puzzle game for replayability?
Yeah. But also, the one thing the extra thing I want to push back on that particular comment is that there are leaderboards in this game, and it encourages you to go back and be the best or no whatever it was with shooting a bullet and becoming the bullet. So yeah, for them to say it's got no replayability,
it's the replayability. Like, yeah, once you've solved the puzzle, I mean.
I'm not sure it's gonna get like a neon
not
white.
Really gonna hit the same time.
Yeah.
Again. Neon white. Oh,
hey.
Game. Yeah. No.
No,
I mean,
2 points.
It's not Botany Manor's not on PlayStation.
I didn't think it would be because it was a Game Pass launch. It felt like it would be on PlayStation, but no, I added this to my wish list. Like it's definitely in my mind to buy it. My 2024 game slate is currently full for the next few weeks. I've been downloading some stuff. I've been renting some stuff. Like, excited to talk about like some 2024 games going forward when I get to them. But Children of the Sun is definitely.
I'm kind of going backwards because right now I'm playing Final Fantasy IX.
Sure.
I've got Life is Strange 2 downloaded. And the entire definitive edition of The Walking Dead Telltales. Oh, and Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah, so I one of the other games I bought was Metal Gear Solid 2.
Yeah, I saw that.
I was tempted to buy that on here.
Well, that's
never
what I think.
Okay.
What's crazy is in my disc thing. Sorry, hang on. Before we talk about this leaves the current scores: Amy 7, Moody 17, Vitz 4 with 3 draws. This week we're going to guess the OpenCritic average of Harold Halibut. This is the stop motion animation game.
It is.
We'll talk about retro games in a second. Let's just do this out of the way first. So, Moody, what do you think of Harold Halibut? What do you think it's going to get?
85.
Nice, good, strong, like it. Vitz.
I think people are excited for this game.
You're
86, please. I think this game has got a lot of juice behind it.
I think it does. I remember watching this. I already knew the game existed, but I remember watching this last year on Moody's couch at the Tribeca Games Spotlight, and just being like, "What the fuck? This is the video game. We don't need to make any more after this. Look at this. And it's taken like so long to make because it's stop motion and stuff. It's just like, oh, it looks so good. Anyway, I'm gonna guess it gets an 89. So we'll talk more about Harold Halibut next week. That's one of the games on the slate I was talking about.
Yeah.
Is it on Game Pass?
Yes, it will be.
Yeah.
But
I'm really enjoying my PlayStation.
This Hellblade, and the fact that at some point in the near future, if people are very generous and donate money, we'll be playing Halo Reach are the only reasons I haven't cancelled Game Pass yet.
We just currently look at the price of like a Rog Ally or something like that.
But anyway, yeah, on the topic of what you were just talking about Metal Gear Solid, I've never played any of them. But like, so when I excavated my disc folder, I have the first one on PlayStation 1. Did not know that. Don't know where I got it from. So like, when I saw the second one for £5, I was like, well, I'll get that as well.
Yeah.
And it's funny to me that I was literally, like you said, you were contemplating buying the second one. I've been looking at the collection on PS5 for like a while now, being like, I mean, I want to play them, so at some point I should buy this collection. And now I've just fucking short-circuited the whole thing, just being like, well, I don't know, I've got the originals now.
And as I understand it, the Konami collection that they released is a substandard port of the game. So
have you ever played a Konami port?
Not yet. Not yet, but I will soon when I play that Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah. They ported Silent Hill 2 and 3 in the Silent Hill HD collection to PS3 and Xbox 360, and me being like, how Moody is with Pokemon is me with Silent Hill. I was like, well, I'm going to get this. So I got it.
Yeah.
And like, they made some choices with those ports. One of the choices was, well, this fog that's everywhere when you're outside, well, they only had that on the PS2 because they didn't have the draw distance. So let's just delete that and ship the game. And they deleted it and shipped the game. Then it was like, did you put anything in the distance to load in to fill in the fact that no, they didn't. They didn't do that. You can see all these fucking weird textury things because it's just like, well, there's
Geo coming in.
Guys, there's nothing there for a reason. Sorry, Konami.
But
yeah, they don't
Metal
port
Gear.
games. I'll tell you what else I saw while I was out as well. I saw, and I don't know what the subtitle of this game is. You'll have to forgive me. PS1 Yu-Gi-Oh game.
Ooh.
Okay.
If I was
PS1 Yu-Gi-Oh game.
Yeah. If I was flush with cash, I would have bought it and been like, "Hey, Moody, look, PS1 Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's play this. See what this is like."
PS1. I have to have a look at this.
That was a PS1 Yu-Gi-Oh game. I don't know.
True Duel Monsters, Sealed Memories.
Maybe I don't remember.
These are all
Hidden Memories.
Amy's just going to say sure.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Yeah.
But it's got to be that one.
It was not
That's
expensive.
difficult as fuck. That game's like meant to be like really, 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 really hard.
I've played Bloodborne. I'll be fine.
There you go.
It's wild to me how like when I started on this, and I'm gonna talk more about like my retro journey next week because I'm setting a bunch of stuff up tomorrow. So I want to talk more about it like next week and stuff. But it's wild. I thought this was gonna be way more expensive of an investment than it's actually turning out to be. Like, I know there's going to be stuff that's going to be really expensive, and at some point, I'm going to have to bite the bullet and buy like a game for like 50 quid or 100 quid or whatever, and I'm prepared for that scenario. But like, so many things are so cheap, and I wasn't expecting it.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Which is really good. You know, at the end of the day, that's what you want to see and whatnot. I won't lie. Like when you come, whenever you're coming down, you bring your. I'm guessing what PS2.
Yeah, it's PS2.
You bring your PS2 because we're playing Dino Crisis. It has to happen.
No, we'll definitely do that. 100%.
Like it has to happen.
I'm sure it'll happen at some point in the future. Yeah. Why wouldn't it? Funny enough, Dino Crisis is about 20 quid.
I think it cost me like 25 at Chips in Darlington years ago.
I thought you were going to say it's priceless. It should be. There should be no. It should just say a POA on it.
It's priceless as well, but it's
on my. It should
just have the infinity sign on it, and just make it simple. It's got a cost infinity.
Like I currently have two working retro consoles at the moment, which is my GameCube or my PS2. PS2 also plays PS1 games.
Yeah, the thing, I have a PS2 back at my mum's house. When I come back up in August, I think I'm gonna have to.
Did you say she was visiting?
Yeah, she's here now.
She's here now. I was going to say, why don't you just get her to bring it?
She won't know what it is.
I'll take a picture of mine.
Yeah, there you go.
I also don't know where I've actually put it.
Fair enough.
I would have to have some digging to do.
Yeah, no, sure. Yeah. I'm sure some Dino Crisis can be arranged at some point. Anyway,
I will maintain that the Slim PS2. Which I was lucky enough to have in silver, is one of the best looking video game systems of all time.
Oh, the really, really thin one.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I know which one you mean.
Now they got that thin. They went from this to this.
Well, it was that. It was the original thickness because you could install a hard drive in the back of it. And also have like the space of the network adapter and all the rest of it. And obviously over time, you can just USB that hard drive if you needed to, and then obviously just have like an Ethernet port for all your internet needs. But that system was a piece of beauty.
It's like basically the chunky the first version of the PS3, then what it goes down to, and then goes down
the slim line. Yeah,
it just kept slimming that bad boy down.
The one that did break.
I went through the yellow light of death on my OG PS3 with the PS2 Emotion Engine chipset in it, and that little thing that you flipped up with all the ports for like SD cards and all the rest of it.
Wow, what a time! Cell processing.
It's really funny. Like obviously they've just released the PS5 Slim, and like obviously the rumors of like we're getting the Pro this year or whatever the hell they call it. I'm just like, how big's this fucker gonna be?
How expensive is this fucker gonna be?
Yeah, that's the more important question.
I think it's probably gonna be about 500. Probably be 500.
It's wild, isn't it?
Yeah. Video games, hey?
Well, how many consoles can I buy for 500? Probably all of the ones at the top of my list.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
probably. The must-haves will own relatively soon are Dreamcast, N64. Mega Drive, Saturn, and Super Nintendo. Those are the ones that I want to get like next in some order.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I will keep an eye out for those systems.
Trying to find a Super Nintendo that's not yellowed. Like, you know, the way those old Nintendo consoles got yellowed. It's difficult. It's difficult. But
that's probably going to cost a bit.
Probably. But you know what? I mean, I'm down for it. It's fine. Well, the great thing is, like, go on.
Sorry, would you accept Super Nintendo, the mini one that has allegedly some bits in the back which allow you to add various different ROMs to it?
No, I'm talking like full-on original experience. The big cartridges.
I'm just asking the question.
Slotting in, bam, into the top, and then you blow on them, and you've got the controller with the 6 buttons. Like, we lost buttons. I don't understand how that works. Like. Controllers got bigger but also less buttons than a Super Nintendo controller and a Mega Drive controller. But no, like what's great is like obviously there's retro scenes in all over the country. So like I'm pairing this with I would like to travel a little bit more and being like, now I can go and check all these places out. Like when I come to the Final Fantasy concert, we're going to find some video game retro stores and markets. Moody, I hope you're ready to go on some to go to some places when I come down and visit you, because we're gonna go looking for some old video game shops. And I'm going to NERG, which is the Northeast Retro Gaming Festival in July with Phil, and I'm going to tell you two the same thing I told him. You're in charge of making sure I don't go over my budget. It's a difficult task, but I believe you're up to it. And I know all three of you are going to. I know all three of you are going to end up enabling me, so it's fine.
Yeah, I am an enabler, self-professed. So
Right.
it'll be fun.
I'm not there to stop you, so why would I help?
No, not stop. Just cut off at a certain point.
Are you going to text all three of us at the same time and say, "Hi guys, so I can get this for this"?
No, I mean when I'm with you. I just mean when I'm with you. Like when I'm with you, Moody, looking in the shops, and when I'm with Vitz, like Vitz is gonna make me spend like all my money. And
there's the person who basically wouldn't stop me from buying other stuff when I was with her.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We did also get you to buy a lamb.
I don't know what you're talking about. Don't remember it. Didn't happen.
Nope, never heard of her.
Never heard of Venusaur.
Yeah.
I still need to sort that out.
Moody, why don't you close us out?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What's up, everybody? You made it. Another day is done. Another week has passed. We are all proud of you. You are special. You deserve the absolute best. You are truly, truly good enough. You're doing great. And we all believe in you. And as always, high five the sky. And while you're up there, say fuck the Tories.
Oh, yes.
Live long and prosper.
Unless it's been corrupted by white supremacists, then don't do the hand symbol no more.
Don't. No. Don't say this. No.